Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking all about my ear piercings. Yes, I am on the floor. Yes, my bed is unmade. The morning light sucks for filming and my cat refused to move from my bed so I couldn't make it, and so that's why the background's just a little bit messy. Nonetheless, we will carry on. So I've always really liked the look of like a lot of earrings, a lot of ear piercings, the curated look, ear constellations, ear projects. I really like watching these videos on YouTube, so might as well put in mine. So I have 9 ear piercings in total, and I definitely do want more. My ears are not complete yet. So my left ear has 6 ear piercings and my right ear has 3. Also, you'll have to excuse my hair. I just got it cut yesterday, so I'm getting used to the whole new like shaggy 70s layers kind of thing happening at the moment. My first ever piercing was my earlobe piercing. I actually got these done when I was like a baby. Like, I have no recollection whatsoever, which I know may be a little bit controversial, but in my culture it's just something that we typically tend to do. Obviously, because I was a baby, I didn't take care of them personally, so my parents took care of them. They were pierced by a gun at my local chemist, as with all regular first earlobe piercings, unfortunately. I was into the multi-ear piercing look, but my parents did not let me get anything for a while because they really didn't like the more than the traditional like standard lobe piercing look. I remember I had begged my parents to get even my seconds, because I saw other girls had their second earlobe piercing done, and I was so jealous of them, and I thought it looked so cool. But I literally begged for, I'd say probably since I was 11, so it was a good 5 years before I had them done. When I had my seconds done, it was such a treat to actually have them done. I was so happy. I got it done on my 16th birthday. I was so happy. Healed them myself. They were of course pierced by a gun as well. So I've got some big hoops in my first today. So got my firsts, and then these here are my seconds. So originally I had a stud pierced with them, and I think I changed them at about 4 weeks. I had a saline spray that I did religiously, and there was no troubles with that. I didn't have any trouble in terms of sleeping on any particular side. Got them both done at the same time. But yeah, I really loved them, and I had said to my parents at the time, I was like, that's the only piercing that's the only ones that I'm gonna get. I don't want any more piercings. So a year and a half later, I then got my tragus done on this side here. I actually got this done the day that my high school results came out. Even though I got a good score, I was really disappointed in myself, because I thought I wasn't going to be able to get into the university that I wanted and do the degree that I wanted to do, which it was fine. I got into the degree, it's fine. But me being 17, I was so upset, because I had worked so hard, or at least I thought I had worked so hard. And I was just inconsolable that day. So my parents, they knew how much I loved ear piercings. So I managed to take my cousin with me, and we both got matching traguses done that day. So I initially got it pierced with a bar, like a Librette bar, and I also took care of it with a saline sprainer that they got me. For me personally, it actually did not hurt at all. It just felt like a lot of pressure, like someone was just squeezing a part of my ear. It just felt like a big pressure release. I didn't hear a pop. I didn't feel any crackling, no pain. There was no blood either, which was great. It just felt like a little bit of throbbing afterward. Now, for me, I'd probably say that my tragus took me about 8 months to heal, which with all cartilage piercings, it can typically take up to a year. But with the tragus, it did take so long in my eyes personally to heal, because again, previously I had only had lobe piercings, which took a very short amount of time to heal. So when I had the tragus done, it was very frustrating. It kept getting caught in my hair, couldn't wear any headphones. I just keep irritating it. Like that was about it. And so after about 4 months, I had a giant bump. It was absolutely huge, like the classic irritation bump. It's an irritation bump, which is quite common with piercings, but it's how you deal with them that determines whether it turns into permanent scarring. After about 4 months, I had enough. I went to a piercing place and I told them that I wanted to put it in a ring, purely for aesthetics, because I really did not like the way that the bar looked, and it was just irritating too much. I didn't like that it kept, like, my hair kept getting caught on it. So I was like, at least if I put it into a ring, it'll be fine. So I had a giant ring put into it to accommodate for the swelling, because like I said, lots of like big irritation bumps. It was horrid. It was disgusting. And believe it or not, once I changed it into a ring, the bump went away by the next week. I had no problems. I had no pulling. My hair didn't get caught. It healed so beautifully. And I've had multiple rings in it over time, but now I've just settled for a super, it's a tiny, I've got a small tragus anyway, but I've got a tiny, tiny, tiny little ring in it, and it's so cute and I love it. So when I was 19, so this is in my second year of university, I had gotten really good exam results at the end of the semester, and so I decided that I wanted to reward myself. So I decided that I was going to get a rook piercing because I didn't want to get a helix. I already had my tragus. I didn't want to get any more lobe piercings because I thought I wanted to do something cool at the time. And at the time that I was on Pinterest, the rook was the thing that was in at the moment. Now I think it's the daith and the conch that are the in piercings. But at the time that I got it done, it was the rook. So this is my rook here. It has healed, and I'm sure you can tell just by the position of the ring, it has healed slightly wonky, which you can't tell nearly as much with a ring, but when I have a barbell in, you definitely can tell. My rook hurt a lot more than my tragus did. It felt like a really sharp pinch. And there was a lot of blood. Still, it was pierced with a curved barbell, so 2 balls on either side and a bit of a J curve barbell. And that took me forever to heal as well. I'd probably say a good year and a half. It was really, really painful. I got big bumps on either exit. I had a big piercing bump on the top, big piercing bump on the bottom. But because of the bumps that I had, it actually moved the jewellery to the side. So I had, so say for example, if this is the 2 piercing exits, I had a giant irritation bump on that side, giant irritation bump on this side that actually forced the jewellery to heal like this, which is why it's a little bit bent to the side. Again, I kept getting my hair caught on it, at least on the top one, not so much on the bottom. I kept getting irritated no matter what I did. I cleaned that with a saline spray and also a saltwater solution as well. So at this point, I went and got a medicated antibiotic cream, which helped calm down the irritation bumps a little bit, but they were still present. I decided to go back into a piercing parlor to change it into a ring, and similarly to my tragus, the minute I got the ring, it was fine. So I think traditionally, I do know that piercing places will tell you to put in a bar, but either way, I've definitely known that for me and my body, it responds way better to rings. So once I put the ring in my rook, I'd say within the next month I could sleep on it. There was no more pus, there was no irritation bumps. It was beautiful. A couple of years passed without any piercings, and I decided to, about 6 months ago, get 2 new piercings. So I got my daith done, which I know that in America they call it a daith piercing. And I also got the helix up here. Now, I personally would not recommend getting more than 1 piercing at a time. These had a lot of trouble healing at the same time. So my daith at the moment is completely healed. So I got it pierced with a really large ring in it. My camera just died, so I do apologize if the frame has moved a little bit. So as I was saying, yeah, so I got my daith pierced with a really big ring, and then once the swelling went down, about 2 months after I had it done, I got it downsized. So in the first 8 weeks, I did get a little bit of a bump. So I did get a little bit of crusties build up in there. But once I downsized it, it started to heal really well, and then I changed it to this decorative one here. As far as my helix goes, my helix was pierced with a barbell. It had a flat back and then a decorative screw top. Like I said, I just can't seem to heal with bars. I don't know why, I can't. So I had persisted since November. It's not 6 months ago. Oh my god, it's August now. Oh. So about 10 months ago, I would say that I got these 2 piercings done. So I persisted for a really, really long time. Like, it not only got really swollen, but the irritation bump that I had was almost encroaching the top piece of jewelry, which was really awful. So I knew I had to go get some intervention before the skin actually grew over. Went to a piercing place, which I explained to the person there that my body usually heals better with rings. Am I able to put it into a ring? Again, he thought that I was just doing it for aesthetic looks, and he said, look, how about we just put a bigger top on it, so then it doesn't feel as though the irritation bump is going to be encroaching the skin as much. So I said, okay, like, we'll do it. I didn't want to pressure him, because he is the professional at the end of the day. I didn't want to pressure him to being like, please give me a ring. So we did that. It did help a little bit, but it didn't help the fact that my hair was still getting caught around it. It was still getting really infected, bleeding, crusty. The irritation bump wasn't going away. In fact, because it was bigger now on either ends, so say for example, like this is the barbell, I had the flat back and then I had a flat top. Basically all the swollen tissue between that was just becoming way too much. So it was really quite painful. There was a lot of compression of the area. Then I went to another piercing place and I was like, look, I'm in actually a lot of pain. My ear had started to turn purple up here at some point. It was really bad. So I said, please, can you put it into a ring? So she actually put like a giant ring, because it was that swollen, a giant ring in it. But finally my ear could actually breathe, the site could actually breathe, and within, I'd probably say, a month and a half, the irritation bump went down completely, and I was actually able to resize to a smaller ring, which is what I have now. So as you can see, there is actually no irritation bump. I can sleep on this side, which is great, but I find that I can't do it consistently for a long time because it will get a little bit irritated. It just gets a little bit red. There's no crusties, there's no like the pus, there's no irritation bump that comes up, because usually with irritation bumps they can go away, come back, go away, come back. So this one is now fine. Like, it's just a slight bit tender to touch every now and again, so I still use my saline spray on that. But this one is healing really well now, which is great. And then lastly, about a month or 2 months ago, I got my third earlobe done just on this left side. Because I am still trying to heal my helix, I didn't want to get it on both sides because it meant that I probably couldn't sleep on both sides, which I need my right ear at the moment to be the primary healed ear, just in case this one gets a little bit irritated every now and again. Until this one is completely healed, I won't be getting any more piercings on my right side. So I got my thirds done on this side, which I will want to get my third on my right. The healing multiple piercings at once is not the way to go, because it's just a basic earlobe piercing, and I've had a little bit of grief with it. By now it's usually okay. I mean, it's only been 2 months, so I'm just waiting for this ear to heal before I move on to my right ear. I do plan on getting a bit of a curated ear look at the moment with some like really high quality expensive jewellery, which I'm kind of saving up for at the moment. So of course, as time goes on with those and I slowly replace my collection with high quality jewellery, I will of course film that and update you. But other than that, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you wanted to see more of me. That's such a narcissistic comment. I can't. Hey, darling. She's like, what's this? See ya.